Barber Shop Connection. Real Barbers, real talk.
Hosted by TX Barber Q.
Barber Shop Connection. Real Barbershop, real talk. Barbershop Connection. Real Barbers, real talk.
Barbershop Connection. Yeah.
All right, what's going on, my good people? We back right now with my girl, my home girl. And come to find out she's an Eastern Star, and I needed to let her know that I am a traveling man, too. Look at here. I got Ms.Xclusive, the one with the perfect, internationally known afro, Miss Diona, Ms.Xclusive Fowlks. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl. It's Ms.Xclusive. It's Diona D. Folks, that is.
All right, and that's what I'm talking about. And she's a Texas, born, raised. She's a hometown Texas girl, so you know I'm loving that because we roll with our Texans. I know people out there got beef between the Texans and the Cowboys, but it don't matter. If you from Texas, I'm going to roll with you. They could take the Sugarland Skeegers and turn them into a football team, and I'm going to roll with them and be cheering for them front and center. But look at here.
I just got one thing to say. Well, wait, I got one thing to say, Key, before you go any further.
Let's go.
It was really a catch. It was really a catch. So to all my Saints friends out there, I really feel your pain. But it was really a catch.
That's right. And shouts out to my kinfolk, Buford Jordan, used to play for the New Orleans Saints back in the 90s. Just want to shout him out right fast. Well, let's go ahead and kick this thing off the way we normally do. And y'all know where I stole this from. It was the movie Brown Sugar, so I ain't going to even lie about it. But tell us and tell all the people at home and that's out there listening in their cars or listening in the shop, which I know they are listening in the shop over at X-Cuts where I'm at. How did you fall in love with barbering?
Man, if I told you the story, you would not believe me, man. I used to play with Ken and Barbie so much because I was the only girl, and I got 3 older brothers. So hair was just something that was birthed in my DNA. I always really knew how to do the women's side. But for some reason, I was like, I didn't want to go to college after school. I wanted to extend my education and perfect my craft in the hair industry. So I was like, I'm always making money. I'm always doing this thing after hours at the house. Let's go ahead and get professional with it. So instead of going to cosmetology school, I just decided to go to barber school. And I was like, that way I can cover both ends of the industry. So I went to barber school knowing already how to do hair. Once I got in barber school, of course, he used to always make me do a lot of women's hair. And I just said, no, I don't want to do that no more. So I started cutting everybody that came through the door and graduated from school. Of course, back then in my time, it really wasn't money making in the barber industry like it is today. So, of course, I crossed back over. I did women for a little while, and I'll never stop doing women. Let me say that's why I am the folks, the Barber-Stylist. I crossed back over for a little while, and then I just started thinking. I was like, man, I grew on up, and I had kids. I had 2 boys. And one thing about it is my hair was always on point, whether it was long and flowing or if it's a cut or whatever. But I always had in my mindset that I can't walk around looking good, and my boys did. So that's when I crossed back over into the barber industry, and I was like, you know what? I actually stood in the mirror one day, and I was like, I'm gonna do something different in this industry that nobody's doing, and that's when I came to the grips of connecting the barber and the styling. So that's how I fell in love with the barbershop industry and the barber stylist.
Right, and that's a very interesting point that you make, and I kind of picked up on it. I've been kind of noticing it because just like yourself, I became licensed in 2000 when I was still active duty military at Howard's Barber Styling College in Charleston, South Carolina. And then it was a big separation between the barbers and the stylist. But now as the industry moves forward, which now we have the man units, we have women getting short crop cuts and different things, and the industry is really starting to merge. In the last Bronner Hair Show I went to, I took one of the man unit courses. And half the room was cosmetologists and the other half of the room were barbers. And I was kind of thinking to myself, say, these barbers got to kind of step their game up and start learning the other side of the pill because so much the way that the industry is going, and unless you know both sides of it, you're going to have a problem with a small clientele versus you can get a more diverse clientele if you keep your, if you go ahead and make sure that you're learning all of it. Because basically, to me, look like the man units is nothing but a quick weave, which is something that we've been doing for years.
Okay, if you notice, it's just in flip flop. We on a flip flop.
Right.
So where the women used to be big on the weave, now the men are actually wearing these man units. I'm sorry, fellas, but quick weave. Right. And the women are actually wearing these clipper cuts. The women are wearing clipper cuts. So if you think about it, back in the day, it was the vice versa. But now today, it has just evolved to a level that, I mean, I just got to the point where even my women clients will come in, and I was like, why should you have to take your son to the barbershop when I'm a barber? Right. Or if the father wanted to have his daughter for the weekend, why should you have to drop her off and go to the barbershop when I'm a barber or a stylist? So I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't have to turn anything down but my color. And that's what I do. That's the only thing I turn down is my color.
Right. And I actually even start doing color more now. Like they got like the little blonde tips and the red color tips. I actually really started incorporating that a whole lot this year. Actually last year, and it's continuing this year. And I even picked up now doing the facials. I have guys that come in. They come in on a weekly basis to get those facials done because it's so relaxing to them. And I tell a lot of barbers that everything that's in that Milady book, if you cannot do it, do not sit up there and call yourself a master barber.
Right. And then a lot of things that I agree with that totally. A lot of things that I do when I go to the schools and I talk to the students is I have to explain to them off the top that what you're doing is nothing different from what the guy next to you is, or what he's doing. Everybody can put on an OA and go to a 1 and go to a 1 and a 1.5 and fade and have no line.
Absolutely.
But what actually sets you apart? What makes you different? What makes you not ordinary? Are you actually upselling yourself, or are you settling for just being a barber? You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you can pull out a color ball and add in some developer, why not? If he's not doing it, then enhance your ticket and set yourself apart. There's no more room to be ordinary. And I have to tell them this all the time. The barber industry is evolving. You can either stay where you are and stay behind the chair, or you can get beyond the chair. And in order to get beyond the chair, you have to invest in yourself. You have to take these classes that enhance your technical skills, enhance your ability, and make you different. So you have to learn how to do the man weave. You have to learn how to do the colors. You have to learn how to do the facials. Because why does everybody have to go to somewhere different when you are equipped to actually do every single thing?
That's right.
And with the barber license today, back in the day, the stylists couldn't, before they brought the board on one accord, the stylists couldn't do a lot that we could do. But we have a dual license as a barber. We're able to do both. Right. They still have to cross over.
That's right.
So why utilize what we're giving and stop selling for just a pair of clippers? Pick up your shear, pick up your color brush, pick up your hot tabs, do those facials, set yourself apart, level up.
Right. I know here in Texas, they even started it as, I believe it's coming, if I'm not mistaken, with the email I saw from TDLR, is barbers are going to start having the ability now to do pedicures. Now, and I don't know how that's going to work, because some guys not going to want to rub on another guy's feet. But I always explain it like this to my students. You go down to any of these Asian places, and you got Asian men that are sitting there and they're willing to do another man's feet, and they're making money hand over fist with it. So why stop yourself? Why send something out your shop?
I can get bigger than that. Everything that we do, they take and they multiply it.
That's right.
We set the foundation from afar, but we settle when we set the foundation because we don't want to do the work.
Right.
Everything that we have put in our shops, in our suites, in our schools, you can go to the beauty supply house right here today and now and get.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And another big argument that I see a lot of times online is about people using the color enhancements. But I understand where the old school barbers are coming from about the color enhancements that they don't want to really use when they feel like it's fake barbering and different things. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's chapter 7 in the Lady book, where it's actually teaching you color. So why not use something that you're capable of doing to enhance your ticket? At the end of the day, it's only going to put more money in your pocket.
And my thing with the enhance, I feel like enhancements are to be done for what they are to be done for. Their enhancements. Now, nobody's saying for you, if you don't know how to do a proper edge, that you go and create an edge.
Right.
But if you're going to enhance this, if he's actually thinning or if he's actually receding, use it for what it is, what it's worth. And all you're doing is just enhancing your level. You're enhancing your skill set.
That's
So I don't have anything against it. I actually think it's just, it's something, once again, that's going to set you apart. There's a proper way to use enhancements. Everybody can't use enhancements because you should not be able to look at enhancements and actually know that it's enhancement.
That's right. And
so
that's
it comes to the point of where you are investing in yourself once again and going to these classes continually to extend your knowledge so that you can be better for your clients and the ones incoming.
That's right, and that's actually a class that I'm developing right now that hopefully I'll be able to present at the Texas International Hair Show in June, coming up this year. Y'all remember that? Texas International Hair Show, June, it's going to be late June, I want to say 23rd to the 25th, but don't quote me on that, but it'll be there for information. There it is, the 22nd. So that's a class I'm definitely developing, and I really want to do because I've actually had the opportunity to learn over time how these enhancements work and to understand that enhancements don't have to be used on just black hair, actually a black color hair. You can get somebody that's blonde, you can have a redhead, you can have someone that has an auburn honey brown hair. You can still use enhancements on them, but you have to learn how to use them correctly. And that's what the class is going to be called, enhancing your enhancements, because I really want to see barbers use those correctly. You get into these man units. Enhancements are almost, you can't get around not using enhancements with those man units if you want them to look natural. And for people that may be out there asking what man units actually are, those are the men's hair replacement units that's been getting so popular that a lot of people are kind of making certain little jokes about on Instagram and Facebook and different things. But if you go back in time and history, it's nothing more than a toupee. And our Caucasian brothers, they've been wearing toupees for years. They've just developed it up now that other ethnicities can actually use those to hide their baldness. Me, I'm not going to use it. I'm a bald guy. I love my bald head. My lady like my bald head, so I'm good with the bald head. So that's just, I'm confident enough to roll my bald head. I'm not going to go too far with it. Next thing I want to talk to you about, tell us about some of the things that you've been doing lately, because you have been really on the move in 2018 and is carrying right over into 2019.
Man, a lot of the things that I've been doing is sleeping standing up because I don't get no sleep.
I understand that. That's barber life.
But yeah, of course, I ended my year with the last thing I was involved in was the Exotic Barber Battle. I did a showcase in there. And I was just recently, also last year, let me not forget this, because this was the ice tipper. I saw myself in the Barber International information booklet on the Barber's page. And I didn't even know it. I got a phone call, and they were like, Diona, you sure look good on in this Barber book and Barber Brothers. And I'm like,
wow.
Huh? So that's just the key, just the icebreaker for anybody out there. You never know who's watching you.
That's right.
Because they're watching you. They may not always click like, but they're watching you.
That's right.
So keep going. And so just recently I was featured in the Voice Dallas magazine interview.
Yes.
Of course, I have the famous exclusive barber battle coming up in June 22nd and 24th.
Right.
I've been hosting my classes with the Clippers and the Shear, the connection of the Barber-Stylist.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing a lot of things, getting ready mainly for this hair show right here and now, and just doing a lot of things to just enhance this industry, just to make some changes in this industry. There's a lot of touring, going to the barber colleges, I'm always trying to be at somebody's barber battle, hair show, or anything, just to support. Right. I'm a big support, and support matters. So I just say get big with that. Just support each other because everybody has a season and everybody has a winning season. Yes. And you just want their support at all times. So that's mainly what I've been doing. Like I said, I'm excited about the Texas International Hair Show, which is going to be June 22nd, 24th. And the exclusive barber battle, the home of the ultimate groomer.
All right.
We have some big things coming in for that. I have some, I'm always into bringing on new things, just not an ordinary barber battle. So be on the lookout for that. I got some other things coming up, but I can't really say this here because if you don't know anything about me, I just spread it on you. You'll look up and I'm popping it out there, and you're like, how did she do that? Where did she get that from?
That's how you do it.
I don't do a lot of talking. I just let the work for itself and let the action show.
Right.
So yeah, that's my biggest thing right now. And of course, like some unknown things that I can't release this yet, but just be focused in the building.
Gotcha. And what I admire so much about you is that you give like a voice and a face to lady barbers here in Texas. I know a lot of ladies that's kind of reluctant. They like, I don't know, that's kind of a male-dominated thing. I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to go run the cosmetology. But you show them that you can work both sides of the coin, and you can still make head moves in it, like with your class that you give, your clipper and shears. I mean, that's so smart because it's a way and it's the direction that the industry is moving in to start slightly merging. Because I really do believe that at some point, Texas is gonna, because I know about Texas because we're both in Texas, and I know people on the barber board and different things, so I'm pretty up to date with what goes on with Texas. I really feel like one day they're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have one license. There's not gonna be a separation of barber and cosmetologists because so many people are crossing over both directions. Because I did a crossover from barber to cosmetology.
Man, I see that. I get that a lot.
Yes.
And my thing, and I don't know, I don't know, I can't say I don't know how. Everything that comes to me comes from God. So I can't say I don't know how it happened. But, I just sit up sometime and I think, when I came up with No More Ordinary, I was literally saying no more ordinary, because if everybody does it, I don't want to do it.
Right. That's me.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my thing was, I know at one point in time, barbers are going to have to do a flat iron.
Yes.
You understand? If it's the slowest day of the week and one woman walks in and you have to turn her away, how do you feel about that? Well, you could have made that $65 or $70.
Right.
For
you just lost money.
And yeah, you just lost money. And the same thing with women, and we're a lot of single mothers out there. No disrespect to the single fathers or whatever, but there's a lot of single mothers out there. Yes. And times get hard for us. And if it's anybody like me, we don't like for our kids to walk around looking like, I call them wolf cookies.
That's right.
Their little hair balls up on their head, and
yes.
So I always feel like there's a next level. I feel like we cannot get content where we are. Like I said, just being a stylist. Everybody's just a stylist, but what sets you apart? So there's a lot of barbering classes going on. There's a lot of styling classes going on, but who's really teaching these barbers how to cut hair, or who's really teaching these stylists how to cut hair? Because the word evolve just sticks with me. This industry is going to different levels, and either you can stay behind that chair or you can move beyond.
That's right.
It's just that simple.
And I also feel like that at some point, just because of what the industry is doing, like cosmetologists have it now, and they've been having it for years, where they do continuing education. I feel like at some point, barbers are going to be required to do some type of continuing education.
Yeah, we didn't got away from it now, because if you look at, I think it's in California, the barber industry, the hair industry, period, that's the one place, the one industry that it hasn't been tapped into it like they want to tap into it.
Right.
So eventually they're going to get it to where, they don't like to go get this education. They got to get this education.
Right.
If you notice, we get so uptight when TDLR comes around for state board. Why? Because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So if we start living and doing what it is, how we're supposed to do it from the beginning, even down to getting the continuing education, because simple things, every class you go to can be a continuing education class. It's just up to the educator. It's just up to the educator. Let's beat them to the punch. And just, I don't invest in yourself. Every time you take a class, that's an investment. Everybody gets a raise at the beginning of the year on their 9 to 5. You deserve a raise too, but not if you're not excelling and exceeding and going beyond and furthering your education.
That's right. And at worst case scenario, you're going to go to one of these hair shows, Bronner, Texas International Hair Show, Barber Games is up in Padre Island with Jay Espy. Someone's giving a class there. You go sit through an hour, 2-hour class, get your certification ticket. You're going to go out there and have fun. You're going to meet new people. You might end up meeting that special man or that special girl. And you're going to end up having a good time anyway, just to go up and get a couple of extra hours. So it's no lose in that whole situation. It's always going to be a win for you. So I don't understand why we don't do it.
Yeah, my mentor used to tell me, and shout out to Mr. Dean Adams also, but he used to tell us all the time, it's better for you to be prepared for the opportunity and never get it than to not get the opportunity and to get the opportunity and not be prepared for it.
That's right.
So, in other words, it goes back to what I'm saying as far as the crossover, the barbers learning how to cut, the stylists learning how to cut. You just never know who's going to walk in your shop. If Michelle Obama walk in that shop, I can do it. If Barack Obama walk in that shop, I can do him. If little James walk in that shop, I can do him. If little Sarah walks in that shop, I can do her. If it's a cut they want, I got it. If it's a relaxer they got, I got it. If it's a color, I got it.
There it is.
So, no more ordinary.
That's
no
right.
more ordinary.
And I'm praying Barack walk in our shop one day because I so want to get his edge up right. Because his edge up been looking kind of bad since his first term. I need to go ahead and get his edge up correct and give him a good little taper fade and edge it. And now he got a beard. I can do some things to that beard for him. So.
Well, it ain't. I don't think it's really easy. He was just over all black when he walked in there, White House. He definitely stopped. He definitely stopped pepper.
Yeah, I got the easy Beijing for him now. I get it right. But okay, you have also your class that you teach, which is a Clipper and Shear class. Tell us a little bit about that class in case anyone wants to come out and take it, which I encourage you. Make sure you go out and take her class.
The Clipper and Shears, and I also do 101 classes also. It just really takes you to the next level of your whatever industry you're in, be it barber or styling. We're teaching barbers actually how to cut women's hair using proper angles, lines, and just different techniques. We start out real basic. So you go at your own pace. Of course, there's nothing like I want you to do an over-directed 90-degree 4-finger elevation or anything to that factor. But eventually you'll get there. And then as far as the ladies side, we actually teach you how to utilize the clippers. You got to know the difference in your clippers, the difference in your guards, what this type of clipper does. What is the difference between adjustable and detachable? Right. Do you know your measurements of that? It's sometimes I get a lot of times where people struggle with getting the lines out because you don't know how to use a 1/8 in between a 0. A 1 and a 1.5, or you don't know how to use a 1 between a 0 and a 1.5. So you're trying to skip these things. You got to know your measurements. You don't know that some manufacturers, your guards are measured in 16, some are measured in 8. So we kind of get into depth a little bit more with the stylists because all they know are shears basically and razors and curling irons. So the clipper language to them is more or less like a Spanish. And they're really just learning. So we kind of go at a real big, of course we do the men too, because you got to know you got to know all parts of your shears, and you got to know your proper angles and how to stand and everything for that nature. Posture is important. Very important. But I go big with branding in that class also. I'm big on branding. I'm very big on branding. So we hit the branding. We talk about the internal competitions, and we talk about the difference in just putting on something. You wear everybody else's brand. You support everybody else. You support Nike and Adidas and Jordan and all that. Let them know your brand. Wear your own brand. Represent and put your stuff out there. So, yeah, clippers and shears, it's the collaboration of where the clipper game meets the shear game, and just bringing it together. You know, we are Barber-Stylists. We have a barber license, and it allows us to do both. So let's utilize that before they take it away. Because once they really understand what they gave us, I guarantee you, they're going to try to do something with it.
That's right. They're going to definitely make some changes with all of that, and which is going to be, it's going to get a lot more difficult out there before it gets any better. So we definitely going to have to make sure that we stay on top of that kind of stuff.
Exactly. They trying every day.
Yes. So you are a salon and shop owner. And what's the name of your salon shop, and where is it located?
It's Xclusive Salon. It's 4140 Lemon Avenue in Dallas, Texas, on the corner of Lemon and Douglas, actually in the old TGIF Friday building.
Oh, wow.
We're one-stop shop, so we cater to everybody that comes in our door.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, so if you in Dallas and you're out that way, you need to make sure you stop by any barbers that's visiting for any of these competitions. Stop by, take a look at the shop. You ain't got to come get a cut. You ain't got to get edged up, but you might want to right there. But stop in and say, hey, and just let them know, hey, I heard you on the Barber Shop Connection. I wanted to come meet you. Just come see me, because you're going to always gain some knowledge from a lady like this, because she has so much knowledge about this industry. I mean, this is almost 20 years in the game for her. And I said I was going to stop saying that this year, because it's not a game. This is a career. It's a business, and it's not a game. Games are for kids, and we're not kids. We all grown out here. So that's why I said I was going to definitely stop saying that this year.
Y'all make sure and follow me on Instagram, because I do follow back. So make sure and follow me on Instagram. Drop the name of your shop, because you never know where I'm all over. I'm out of town too. I'm all over. You know, if it's invite me to your barber battles, and you know, let me come judge, or you just want a friendly face. Hey, let's network. Let's network.
That's right, and I'm here to tell you firsthand knowledge. She didn't really know me that good. I showed up at the Texas International Hair Show, and she popped around the corner. Was at our booth when I was there with I Love Being a Barber, and we kicked it for a little while, and I almost slid into a barber competition that I wasn't ready for. But I got to thinking, I said, you know what, I'm going to come back and do a competition just for the sake of support, and doing it just to support someone else from Texas that's trying to get it like I get it.
Man.
Yes.
I sure appreciate it. I do.
No problem at all. Now, being a shop owner, you have a good mix of guys and gals that work for you, right?
No, actually, I'm just a two-chair salon.
Oh, okay.
Shop.
Gotcha. You've been to shops. There's guys and girls in the shop. And if anybody follow Instagram and you follow all the barbers and everything in the industry, we've been having a bit of an emerging issue, especially with the current culture that we have going on in America, with sexual harassment and rape. What's something that you feel like that other barbers, male barbers especially, need to know about having women in their salons or shops, dealing with them, and also dealing with female clients? Because like you said, there's a lot of single moms out there, and I don't ever want single moms to come in the shop and feel like I shouldn't be here because I'm in an uncomfortable environment. So what advice would you give to barbers dealing with the opposite sex in our industry?
Okay. This is a real subject for me, because before I became these folks, Ms.Xclusive or whatnot, the years that you guys didn't know me and didn't hear from me, I've always worked in barbershop. I've always been the only girl in barbershop.
Yes.
So, in other words, I've seen, I've heard. I think the biggest thing to and I don't want to just point out the men barbers. I'm gonna hit, because I'm in both sides, as you say, both sides of the game. So I see both sides, but I want to put something out there for the male barbers. In the woman's perspective, even if she walks in and she has on the tightest jeans or the shortest of the short, whatever that is. I teach my boys right now that I don't care what she looks like. I don't even care if everybody says she's that. You don't treat her like this. There's a respect thing that goes far and beyond. In the barbershop, to some people, you're just a barber. But let me take, for me, example, when I used to walk in a barbershop before I got a license back in the day and all this type of thing, you were more than just a barber. You know, you are that communicator that touches everybody. We're the social workers, we're the doctors, we're everything. We know everybody's business. So my thing is to keep it on a professional level. Respectful, professional. If you keep it between business, professionalism, and mannerism, we won't have those problems. We will not have these problems. Because at the end of the day, every woman is somebody's mother. If not mother, she's somebody's daughter. If not daughter, she's somebody's sister. And I know everybody has one of those. So you have to be respectful and professional to where, put that in, if that woman was your mama, would you want somebody to do her like that? You know, and I just think that it's so free in the barber industry that we take things for granted. You know, it's an open floor, so we're able to talk and have free conversations. But we have to put limits on it, because the slightest thing can go the wrong way, and it can turn it into something major. Also, we have to understand that even though we've heard it all our life, we don't implement it. You know, when we say no, no means no. And sometimes women put it off as in no meaning, okay, well, not now, or maybe yes, or maybe. But as a man, the leader, the provider, the the boss man, as they want to call him, you got to remember that it's in the world today, it's already so many strikes against the man. It's already strikes against the man. So don't put yourself in these positions. Stay professional. Don't mix the business with the pleasure. Just let these, and the lady barbers are out here, man, we doing our thing. I mean, it's almost like we're taking over. I don't know if the men are getting intimidated. I surely hope not, because we got the game from you. We got this game from this men side. I mean, let's just be honest about it. We didn't really know too much about barbering back in the day. And if we did, it wasn't enough money coming in for us to even do it. But I just feel like the sexual harassment thing that's going on, and it's not just in the barber industry, it's everywhere. It's just that people are taking their title, they're taking their friendship, they're taking their personal feelings, and they're taking it and they're taking everything for granted. It's almost like it doesn't matter what she say, or it doesn't matter what he say. On the flip side of that, women, you got to stop putting yourself in these positions just as well. You know, we tempt men, and we know we tempt men, but it's almost like we know we'll get away with it. And on the same thing with the female barbers, we have to stay professional too, because at the end of the day, we know when somebody's coming at us. We have to stop mixing business with pleasure. We have to just as much stay professional. We have to just as much stay respectful and demand respect. You know, we can be in a barbershop and we can get to having a free-flowing conversation, and he might address us as something, and we laugh it off. Not cool. You know, not cool. Demand your respect, set the foundations and set the boundaries and the limits from the start. And I just think the sexual harassment thing is it's everywhere. And and I think another thing that people need to do is let it out. Let it out. I mean, it's not, you're not wrong if you let it out. But if you don't let it out, then they get away with it. Right. And when you do come out and you let it out, then you're the bad guy. Newsflash, we're gonna be the bad guy regardless. Somebody has to be the bad guy. But the truth is the truth. So stand firm on your decision. As lady barbers, you know, it's a lot of temptation, because we know how we like these men to look. But minimize some of the massaging and you know, the leaning, keep it professional. We can groom them, and we can make them look good, and we can make them feel good, and still be their barber. If you understand what I'm saying. And it's, yeah.
Every time you have a client that just because of the way that you're handling him or the way you're trying to go a little extra with him, he's going to want to shoot his shot. That's not good.
Not good. But I mean, my main thing is, speak on it. Speak on it, because I'm a firm believer of letting the truth out. Because at the end of the day, I don't know who else I'm helping.
That's right.
It may have happened to somebody else, but you have to be free, and you have to do it for, if nobody else, for yourself. You understand?
Yes.
Because if you don't, that may be the only chance that we get. Somebody else. So my biggest thing with the sexual harassment in the industry today is, if we stay respectful, if we stay professional, and if we stay in our manners, we won't have that.
That's absolutely right. I totally 110% agree with you on that one. I mean, I really, really do. It's something that I hate to see our industry even start dealing with, but at the end of the day, we have.
But it's real.
Yeah, it is.
It's real, and it's happening. And until we address, it'll keep happening. And of course, if we don't say anything about it, then they get away with it.
That's right.
So let's, I mean, I don't know about anybody else out there, but Jesus was the bad guy. And I believe in Jesus. So he did a lot of things that people did in life. A lot of things goes on right now in the world that we don't like, but somebody has to be the bad guy. And a lot of times the bad guy is not always the bad guy.
Yeah, I understand that. But hey, I love that you gave us that perspective. It's a lot for especially our younger barbers that are coming into the industry to really take a look at and decide, how they're going to carry themselves when it comes down to dealing with the opposite sex, because it's something that's going to be here for a long time. Because we have some white-lighted barbers out there that really, really killing it right now. I mean, they're really stepping their game up, and around them are very attractive women. So guys
Right.
understand that there are boundaries, and you do not want to start messing with your own money, trying to be cute or be extra with someone, or try and get someone in bed, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that young lady in your shop feels like, you know what, those are my brothers. And if something happened to me or a guy get out of line, all these guys in this shop gonna get on their butt behind me.
That's so true, because I still have that relationship right here today with the guys that I work in, and that's how our friendship and how our relationship is. And I hate that the sexual harassment is going on the way it is. But man, fellas, go in there and sit in the chair, get your hair cut, pay your money, and go home.
That's right. Don't try and shoot your shot. Take your tail home. You looking fresh now. Take your tail home. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. And then you're making friends, you're building relationships, because I really feel like barbering is a lot about building healthy relationships with people. I mean, I have clients, male and female, that I know about their kids, I know about their husbands, I know about things that go on with them, because it's really barbering and stylist. You have a very personal relationship with your clients. I mean, especially when guys are cutting ladies' hair, you may be touching and dealing with a woman in ways that her husband may not even have dealt with her that week. She may tell you her problems, and vice versa. Women, you may be, rubbing on the guy's head, and the guy, his wife haven't rubbed on his head that week. It's a very personal relationship. But you have to keep it professional and say, you know what, there is a boundary to this. I'm not going to bend down and whisper in his ear or whisper in her ear, but I'm going to provide a service. And after that service is over with, let's settle up at the end, and now go home. I'll see you in 2 weeks when you come back to get me to finish, give you another service. And that's the level that we have to keep it on. And sad to say, a lot of times we don't, and especially among our peers. barbers have to deal with other barbers in that same way, the same respect that we would give our clients, because you may not be getting monetary from them, but you're getting knowledge from someone every time you sit down and have a conversation with another barber stylist. You're getting some type of knowledge from that person. I pick up something every single time I pick up something. So I want to make sure I keep those doors open, keep that conversation flowing, so I can keep growing as a person. I can keep growing as a barber. And at the end of the day, I'm providing for my family by what I'm doing, what I've learned.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
So is there any last shout out you want to give to anybody out there? And I know Miss Christina, got to shout her out.
Yeah, we got to shout out to Miss Christina Webb. Oh, they're going to kill me. You didn't put me on the spot with these shout outs, too. Christina Webb, Kim Shelton, to my Barber-Xclusive team. Yeah, I don't do this by myself, people. I have Mr. Tyrone the Barber from Fort Worth, Texas, and this is Stephen Wilkerson, Mr. Platform Master Barber. Those are my brothers in barber business that helped me out with this barber battle. I tell you, they saved my life sometimes.
Yes.
Shout out to my new barber industry, female barbers, everybody that's coming on board, my barber students. Oh, please let me not forget my kids. Man, they would be horrific. My baby Asen and Antoine, my biggest barber supporters.
All right, what's up, boys?
Asen is the industry kid. So when you see me and you see that younger one, that's the industry kid. He's following footsteps. So y'all just pray for me on that one.
Right.
And just support. And shout out to all the barbers out there, all the barbers, female and male. Let's make this money. Let's keep it professional. Let's stay out these DMs. Let's stay out these inboxes. If it ain't about no money, it ain't about no seats. So let's make it. And I need to see everybody at the Texas International Hair Show, Dallas, Texas, on June 22nd and 24th. And let's see who's going to actually be the ultimate.
Well, my good people, that's our show for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out this show, and I hope to see you back next time, man. Once again, thank you to Miss Diona Fowlks, Ms.Xclusive herself, for coming by and blessing us. I hope you picked up something out of this, man. And I want to leave you with this before we go. Professionalism is not a title, a label that you give to yourself. It's a description that you hope others will apply to you. Keep it professional, keep it chopping. This your boy, Texas Barber Q with the Barber Shop Connection. Holla back at me, baby. Holla back.
Barbershop Connection. Real barbers with real talk.